Thanks you again for attending. So, it is my honor to introduce our guest of honor this evening. Captain David A. Christian enlisted in the U.S. Army shortly after graduating from high school at 17 years of age. His goal? To be able to attend college with the benefit of the GI Bill to support his quest. He completed basic training, advanced infantry training, AIT drill cadre, and officer candidate school. He was commissioned as a second lieutenant at 18 years of age, thereby becoming the youngest military officer in the Vietnam War. He completed airborne paratrooper training at Fort Benning, Georgia, and Green Beret training at the JFK Special Warfare Center, 3rd Special Forces, Fort Bragg, North Carolina. While serving our country in Vietnam, he led the 1st Infantry Division Long Range Recon Patrol, the 75th Rangers, I Company, and the 1st of the 26th Infantry Recon. He also served with General George Patton, the son of World War II fame George Patton, conducting dangerous recon missions with the 11th Armored Cavalry Division on the Cambodian border. The teenage lieutenant from Levittown, earned the Distinguished Service Cross and 2 Silver Stars for valor. The men of his recon unit credit Victor 6, his code name in combat, with bringing them home alive. And for his heroism, he was twice recommended for the Medal of Honor. Commanding officers recognized Captain Christian's performance as equaled by very few and recommended him for promotion. They identified his recon team as the most successful in the battalion, always volunteering for the most hazardous missions. And because of the confidence his superiors had in him, his unit was allowed to operate independently in enemy-controlled territories for days and weeks at a time, behind enemy lines. They praised his belief in his men and his success in dangerous missions that is seldom seen in an officer of his grade and age. In addition, Captain Christensen was awarded the Air Medal for 25 combat assaults into a hot landing zone, the Bronze Star Medal, America's 4th highest, 7 Purple Hearts, the Combat Infantry Badge, Jump Wings, and the Vietnamese Service Medal. His foreign awards include the Vietnamese Cross of Gallantry with Bronze Star and Palm, the Vietnamese Civic Action Medal, and the Conspicuous Service Award. Although he was seriously injured many times in Vietnam, he requested to return to combat, again, to be with his teams. Uniquely, he volunteered to return to Vietnam from a hospital in Japan. Shortly after his return, Captain Christian was injured by napalm, resulting in 2nd and 3rd-degree burns over 40% of his body. Captain Christian was medically retired at the age of 21, with rank and privileges of a Captain 03 for life, and spent the next 7 years in and out of military hospitals. Recognizing his superior valorous combat leadership, he was inducted into the Military Officers Hall of Fame. In addition to duty in Vietnam from 1968 to 1969, Captain Christian served our country in several hazardous stations to include Cambodia, Lithuania, Bosnia, and later Iraq. Captain Christian continued his education while recuperating from his injuries, earning a bachelor degree in political science in just 19 months at Villanova University. He pursued a master's in government at the University of Pennsylvania and earned a Juris Doctorate from Rutgers School of Law. He studied intensive Russian language at Middlebury College in Vermont. Captain Christian continued to serve our country throughout his lifetime, and he has had 4 presidential appointments, including under President Jimmy Carter as a liaison to the White House and U.S. Department of Labor, under President Ronald Reagan, President George Bush as the White House liaison to the U.S. Department of Labor, where he created jobs and developed interagency relationships with the Department of Defense and the Department of Veterans Affairs, and as an ambassador to Chechnya for economic and humanitarian aid during the Russian and Chechnyan War, and also as a Senate Schedule C employee. He was a senior U.S. Senate advisor to U.S. Senators John Kerry and John McCain for 8 years. He's been an advisor for congressmen on legislation and writing Agent Orange and PTSD legislation for veterans and active military, along with employment, job creation, from 2001 through today. He has been recognized by the Veterans of Foreign War as one of the top 50 most decorated veterans from Vietnam. Captain Christian is a resident of Bucks County, being raised in Bristol Township. He and his wife, the former Peggy Todd of Pendle, have been married for 55 years. Together they raised 4 children in Upper Makefield and have 6 grandchildren. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present to you the founder of the nonprofit Victor 6 Health and Fitness Military Veterans Organization, Captain David A. Christian.